June 18th, workout breakdown, shoulder day, second workout of the push press mini cycle, also a single leg day. And again, I wanted to go over this as we just have not done a lot of these, especially not recently. So again, starting with the mini cycle, single arm push press, an opportunity. You guys have the entire class here for you guys to take as much time as you need and work your way through. A single arm push press offers a excellent opportunity for you guys not only to get comfortable with the movement in a easier setting than double dumbbell, but also just figure out weights and figure out stability up and overhead and just kind of figure everything out with less pressure than there would be with two dumbbells. So although single dumbbell push press doesn't translate to a lot of the other stuff that we do frequently, it is an excellent way to not only build confidence, kind of teach kind of the technicalities of it, but also give you a better idea of left to right and kind of maybe muscular imbalances or just areas of improvement you need to work on depending on the side or just overall. So really like the single arm dumbbell push press. I don't love falling in love with it, doing it all the time. So this is why I think it fits well into the second of 8 workouts here. Now the single leg day. This is I think a very polarizing type of workout. I think a lot of people hate single leg with a passion. I think they hate it because it's hard. I think they hate it because you're not moving a lot of weight, and we don't understand the value of it. So I wanted to try to explain the value of this to some people. So when I built Core, the concept of building Core 4 mainly stemmed from just how poor training and programming was in franchise fitness and group fitness in general. I don't think that's really changed much. But that was my biggest incentive from a trainer's perspective. I wanted the programming to just be better, and not just better, but like significantly better. And I think at Core 4 we've done that. The way we've set up our studio, kind of the structures and the many layers we have of our training, and we're continuing to try to not just innovate, not like innovate training, but innovate it in a group setting. Just finding more and more ways to be more and more efficient with the things that matter. And this was one of the big ones. And I'm bringing this up because single leg work was one of the biggest motivators to starting Core 4. And full transparency, I've kind of gotten away from it a little bit, and I've gotten away from it because I know people despise it. Like if people, this might be the day with the most complaints is anytime we do something single leg. And not that I agree with the complaints, but part of group fitness is I need people to enjoy what they're doing, and I want them to hate fitness. So I've kind of moved away from it a little bit, and I, kind of looked myself in the mirror. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I know the value that this holds. So I think I'm going to, again, do my best to bring it back, not super frequently, but like once every, 4 or 6 weeks or something like that, we can do a single leg day. And shoulder day is one of the days that it tends to be the easiest to do it because we can just do most of these movements on our feet. So single leg day. Remember, the benefit of single day is to improve strength depending on the side, right? So we can overcome some level of compensation. Typically, everybody has a dominant side, left side, right side. We can work on that. The core activation require the joint and pelvis stability and balance that is required when you guys are doing single leg stuff is incredible. All the way from your foot and your toes. So if we've gone over that in monthly emphasis in the past, but your ankle, knee, your hip, all the, again, the strength that is required to keep you upright and wobbling side to side, especially when you add external load, is invaluable. And it's so good for you. But again, it's tedious and it requires people to slow down and not move as much weight. So a lot of people feel like they're not, doing the lifting that they need to do. But this is one of those things that it's kind of like one step backwards to take 2 steps forward. If you can get significantly better at this, more stable, strengthening your joints, your ability for not just body control, but body awareness, which has got to be very high when you're doing single leg stuff, especially as you start to add more and more external load. It's only going to translate into other modalities extensively, and it's going to allow other things to feel significantly easier as you transition into those things. So again, throwing this in every couple of weeks, although you may not love it, is something that I'm hoping you guys can be like, okay, I don't love doing single leg day, but like it is so immensely valuable that I should just kind of gut through it and knock it out. And that's kind of my goal with a lot of things we do at Core 4 in training, but specifically this one. So you guys here, you have 4 rounds. I made all the aerobic stuff optional for you guys. So if you want to just really focus on the single leg stuff, focus on the lifts, not worry about the aerobic work, then you can do that. Just make sure you read this appropriately. If you choose to do the bike on the first 4 rounds, then you're going to disregard the 130 time of rest. If you choose not to do the bike, then you're going to take the 130 rest, and you'll just go through those 4 rounds. Same concept at the bottom, the 4 rounds with more biking. And again, you're going to do 4 rounds. So really it's 2 rounds on each leg. So hypothetically, if you bike or if you don't bike, you'll do the single leg high rows on the left leg. You'll then do the single leg lateral raises on the left leg. And then you'll obviously either bike or not bike, and then you switch to the right leg. Or you can do 2 rounds in a row on the same leg, which honestly probably more beneficial now that I'm saying it out loud. So physiologically, you would like to do them all on one leg and then all on the next leg. So that's probably the route to go right there. Same concept at the bottom. A couple of little things here, just 2 main ones. Adding instability if applicable. So what that means is that you're so good and so stable with the weight that you've chosen that you can add more instability. All right, so the more proprioceptively rich the environment is, the harder or more unstable that it is, and the more challenging it's going to be. So step 1 would be just to add a black mat, like the ones that are on top of your dumbbell racks. Adding that, not the rogue ones, the square ones. Adding that first. If that goes well and you find that both sides of your body are quite stable with this, you can go grab a Bosu. You guys can always grab a Bosu. There'll probably be a couple lying out. That being said, I do not think there's that many people, because we just don't do this enough, which is a failure again on my side, that are going to be using Bosu balls given how challenging it is. But I would love to see them. Hopefully in the future we can get more people more comfortable in that environment. And then at the bottom, you see the lateral hops, the 12 and the 4. The 4 is for anybody that wants to make it more plyometric. So the lateral hops are obviously already a plyometric movement as you're leaving the ground with the hops, but the baby hops over like a yellow cone or something, or a little dumbbell, are a lot different than the 4 in blue, which my expectation is that you're going to be explosive on the one leg and land on like a low bench or a high bench. So you're doing those kind of like more individually, whereas like the 12 rep count is kind of ping-ponging back and forth, kind of like a jump rope type of hop. And the 4 is more advanced in the sense that you're trying to work on verticality and landing, which is a lot heavier on your joints and your ankles and knees, of course. So just keep that in mind when you guys get around to doing that, because people should make it down there depending on, I mean, unless you take an absorbent amount of time in the single arm push press, which I'm not overly opposed to, by the way. So anyways, a wonderful day. There's a lot going on here. You guys got lots of options. And I hope that those of you that look at the videos don't just see this and run away, and you actually listen to something that I just tried to say there.